ఓం శ్రీ గురుభ్యో నమః. అందరికీ నమస్కారం. In this video, let us examine what is the false identity in life. You see, normally our system of education emphasizes on effort to make a human being as a utility in the society. I mean, whatever education we impart for livelihood gives us a false identity of that which we are not, and this kind of education do not allow a human being to grow to his full potential or to his natural and real being. See, it is like this: to train a person to do a certain job is called imparting training. For instance, a carpenter, a mason, so he is trained in that area of activity so that he will be able to help the society in its functions. So, like that, all the management institutes, they take the candidates directly from the reputed institutes and then impart them training to undertake various managerial functions in their industries or companies or so on and so forth. Similarly, even the government of the respective countries train the candidates. First they recruit them and then train them for various fields of activity. So, the training is nothing but grooming the human potential to suit their needs in discharge of various functions, either in running the government or in running the respective companies. The point which I am going to make here is, in the process, the human being or the person who is trained, he totally forgets his natural and real being. So, he identifies himself with whatever the personality in the form of position or positions given to him either in companies or in government. and it is necessary for the human being to earn a livelihood, and in that process this kind of education and training is very much necessary, no doubt about it. But here the person who is trained identifies himself with that personality, and he totally forgets his real being or individuality. That is why the personality or the position is a substitute for his real being. So, whenever he is left alone, he could not contain that loneliness, because when you are alone, that false identity gets dropped inch by inch. For example, an officer holding a high rank in any country goes to another country, maybe on official visit, and so on and so forth. But whatever the power and all the other facilities which he enjoys in his own country may not be available when he goes to another country, even for a short while, because there he is a guest. So, he will be given all facilities according to his position, but the official powers, whatever he enjoys in his country, will not be available there. So, when he is alone, he feels that had he been there in his own position, he would have been more happy and enjoyed much more, like that, etc. So, that is why people are afraid to be alone. Always I am citing an example only from either official or companies and all that, and it is applicable in the society in various forms. Maybe a singer, playback singer, maybe a movie artist, anybody, whoever it is, they face the similar kind of a situation when they are left alone. That is why they always want to be in crowd, move in the crowd to maintain that false identity. It is especially in respect of the people who have retired, either from government or private or whatever it is. We find they are very active when they are in service, because they will be very much busy, and even they will not be available for their families. They are so much identified with their positions, and there is so much work to be attended to, which keeps them busy always. And then they do not have time not only for their families, and you can think of about themselves. So, such people who are engaged in activity and who identifies themselves with those false personalities, when they leave that activity on superannuation or for any other reason, they feel alone, and they will not be able to move in the society as they used to move before, when they were holding or engaged in that activity. So, meditation is a kind of loneliness. Only in loneliness you come to know who you are, and in that process only you connect yourself to your real being. In other words, meditation is a silent relaxation of your body and mind. In that relaxation, your natural and real being tries to express itself with all its potential, in all its grandeur. So, it may take some time, because once you start an inward journey, searching for your own self, then and till you find yourself, there will be a gap between your false personality and your real being. So, that gap, the mystics call it a dark soul. I mean, neither you are in the false nor in the real. You are in a limbo in between. So, when you realize your own potential, then the peace and joy which dwells out of that loneliness, out of that connectivity to your own self, then you start enjoying your own inward journey. But though you take a decision to realize your own self and start the journey, and in the process of realization of your own being, so many tests or illusions may try to disturb you because of your identification with that false personality. But you succeed, no doubt. But sometimes the false may come again and again till it totally subsides by your consistent effort in silence and determination to realize your own self. People say old habits die hard. So it happens, but with all your determination, you will be able to overcome and be with yourself with the grace and mercy of the Lord. In this regard, there is a story told in Marathi, I think it is in Marathi, Bhagavat or something like that. There, the beautiful story. Eknath Maharaj was a great saint in Maharashtra. So many devotees flocked at his feet always and all the time. He was a great devotee of Lord Panduranga Vitthal, stationed in Pandharipur. So once Eknath Maharaj was going for a pilgrimage. So many devotees have accompanied him in the pilgrimage. So one thief also approached this master and asked him to permit him to accompany the pilgrims along with them, as he has realized his faults and his way of living by thefts, etc., and he wants to liberation from all those sins which he has committed, and he has pleaded Eknath Maharaj to admit him and permit him to accompany the tour. So the master permitted him to join the group. So the group was going. So in the night they used to halt in the places near water bodies and in the forest also. So like that they started their journey. So in the nights when the tents were set up and when they used to sleep, they observed in the morning, next day morning, that one of their belongings was missing. So, one pilgrim reported this to the master. So, master said, search everywhere, might be we are only, our group is there. So, it might not have gone outside, no thief must have come from outside. So, very interestingly, whatever the item which was lost by any pilgrim subsequently is found after some time in another pilgrim's baggage. So, it went on for some time. They were not missing, but they were being placed in other pilgrims' baggage during the nights. So, Eknath Maharaj wanted to break this impasse. So, when all pilgrims were sleeping, he was awake and observing. Then the thief who has joined the group is doing that kind of thing, because he is taking and picking some valuable item from one pilgrimage baggage, and he again put it in some other pilgrim's baggage. So, Eknath Maharaj got hold of him and asked him why he was doing like this. Then the thief said, Maharaj, see, my way of living makes me to be awake in the night, because my job starts when all people go to sleep. So, I could not sleep during that time. So, what I have to do? It is my old habit. So, I have to steal from somewhere. So, that was my habit and way of living. Though I wanted to change, but that habit is not leaving me. That is why I am doing this, to get rid of this permanently. So, this is what the old habits die hard. Though he want to transform himself, but the old habits haunt for some time. It is natural, but the determination to come out of it and to transcend oneself is really commendable, and for such people God always helps in the form of the master like Eknath Maharaj. So, friends, whatever the suffering one undergoes is due to this false identity. So, please come out of your false identities and realize that you are the divine child of the lot. Thank you.